We are known for so much here in Memphis when it comes to the culinary scene. Barbecue, fried chicken, of course, soul food. But vegetarian food, not something that you would normally think of when you think of Memphis. But one couple is aiming to change that. Welcome today, the Chubby Vegetarian, otherwise known as Justin Foxburgs. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Great to see you. How are you, man?
I am very good. You are doing well because you're about to have your second book out, or have your second book out now. For everybody that may not be familiar with what the Chubby Vegetarian is, please tell us.
So rather than replace meat, which a lot of vegetarian recipes do, we take vegetables and sort of push them to the center of the plate, doing things to vegetables that people would normally do to meat. Think of dry rubbing, grilling, smoking, and then taking that concept just sort of like to the stars. I mean, think about taking spaghetti squash and making it into ribs. Now this sounds crazy, I know, but if you cut it and grill it, it loses a lot of that moisture and pulls apart like pork. And we just throw a little barbecue sauce on it and we're good to go.
Does
we're
not
not trying
sound
to
bad.
fool anyone.
Right.
But we're trying to make people realize that vegetables are delicious.
Make him the star of the plate.
That's right.
Your backstory is really interesting, you and your wife. Tell me a little bit about this, because this started with a blog in 2008, but so much kind of led up to that.
Right. The short story is I was on the road with a punk rock band and newly married, and my wife said, we should do something together. We love to cook together. She's a writer. I'm a photographer. So, you know, we basically just started photographing the things that we were making in our kitchen. Well, we're ones that definitely listen to the universe and the world and sort of chase down those like opportunities that come to us. And people started asking for recipes. And that's really how it started, from a single picture of a roasted corn soupe.
And then from that, it kind of blew up. So fast forward 2013, you have a first book out.
That's right. I live in the cookbook world as a photographer. I shoot other people's cookbooks, and I was on a photo shoot for Jennifer Chandler's Simply Grilling book. And she says, my publisher is looking to do a vegetarian book. Would you and your wife want to put in a proposal? And hands me the phone. I said, who am I talking to? She said, you're talking to my editor. I was like, oh, what? I'm not ready for this. But, you know, we had to put in a proposal just like everybody else. They loved the idea, and we got to do our first book, The Southern Vegetarian, which is really strictly focused on sort of the food we grew up eating in Memphis.
And we've got some pictures up right now. And one thing, and I want to hold them there for a second.
That looks really good.
It looks fantastic. I just had coffee today. But here's what I think is really interesting. So many times, and we were talking about this right before we started taping, is that so many times you see professional photography of food, and then you actually go back and see what that is, and it's not edible because they want to make it look good for the pictures. A lot of fast food and chain restaurants do that, but what you see with you is what you get. What
you see is what you get. So yeah, the old tricks are, you know, lard as ice cream, and then you lacquer you lacquer food to make it shine. My philosophy as a food photographer, and it translates into photographing my own food, is that I want this to be the thing that you eat. If you follow our instructions from start to finish, you'll end up with a dish that looks like this. It may not be lit like that,
right? But
it will look like that. And all of this food was eaten.
I mean, look how that just looks fantastic.
So as soon as it was photographed, you know, I basically pull a knife and fork out of my back pocket and just get at it. That's because the passion for the food comes through in the photography, and I think that's what my clients see in me as a photographer and what I try and show through the book and through our writing.
And now it's 2016, and your second book is here. It's called The Chubby Vegetarian, appropriately named, and I want to hold it up because this is, just the cover itself is fantastic. You've got your food right up there, and of course, Justin Foxburgs, Amy Lawrence, you guys photographed everything in here, and you said you, after it was photographed, pretty much ate everything right after as well. So lots of great pictures in here, lots of great recipes, and it's basically all different courses of meals that you guys have.
That's right. So what's different about this one than our first Southern Vegetarian book is that we cover food from all over the globe. You see spring roll wraps here. We do masala dosas from India, edamame you see there. Shirmias from Blue Nile taught us how to make Ethiopian food, and that's in there. So we really globe hop on this one, and this is a very true reflection of how we eat at home.
Okay, so now this is available, and before we get going on this, this is not only available locally, but it's available nationally.
Nationally.
And you guys have a launch party coming up.
That's right. Our launch party, and we would love everyone to come out, is this Sunday from 5 to 7:30 at Chef Kelly English's second line. It's going to be a lot of fun. Everyone come out. We're going to have a little bit of wine. We'll have the Chubby Vegetarian Po' Boy, which is on the menu all the time at the second line. You can go get it for lunch today if you want to. We'll be sampling that, and then we'll also be featuring our publisher's other book, Real Masters. Susan Schott, our book is on Susan Schott Publishing. It's been a pleasure to work with her.
And Kelly English is featured in that as well.
Kelly English is, this is so Memphis, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're all super connected.
One big kind of incestuous family. Yeah, exactly. Listen, Justin, thank you so much. And thank you for putting a different type of food option on the map for Memphis, because I really think this is taking off. And, you know, the vegetarian scene is starting to blow up everywhere. And I think especially with now you've got your signature items on the second line, I think we're only going to see much more of this come our way.
We're happy to do it, and I have something for you. Oh. I've got your very own copy of the Chubby Vegetarian here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. We're going to give everybody some more information about you, of course, a little bit more of your backstory with your wife, and where they can get the book online and in stores. Thank you so much, Justin.
Thanks for having me.
You got it.